What's good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to break down something very important about Tesla that everyone should be watching for, and why on earth Tesla is looking very interesting right now. Before I break anything down about all this information and talk about the different charts in Tesla, let me just mention a couple of things real quick. Firstly, I'm not a financial planner. Take none of this as financial advice, and don't forget about the Moomoo link. The offer ends very soon. Put in $100 and you're guaranteed 5 free stocks with a $100 cash reward. The offer ends very soon. Check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. Anyways, when it comes to Tesla, this thing's up 1.6% as of right now. However, when you zoom out of Tesla, there are both bull and bear cases people could be going over. And if you want confirmation of the bull case, we need to see Tesla break and hold a very important level by tomorrow. And I want to inform you about this before we do anything, because it's very important to look for confirmation and to manage risks accordingly. So for Tesla, the bears out there are going to be saying that, oh, there's this head and shoulders formation. Let me actually hide the drawing so it's easier to see. I'm going to use the 4-hour chart for this. The bears are going to say there's a head and shoulders on Tesla. It's going to tank, right? And they're going to be watching this 265 area to start entering their like short positions, right? So we have like a left shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder. But the bulls are going to say something else. The bulls are going to be looking at, I think, either the hourly, I think the hourly chart, yeah, you can look at the hourly or even the 30-minute, and you will notice that we have this 275 imbalance, right? That Tesla could reach this level if it breaks that 265 resistance and manages to continue to pump, especially going into tomorrow. So I just want to let everyone know that as the market is continuing to hold, as the market is continuing to push, things are looking pretty decent for Tesla. We have a lot of resistance levels to look out for, which I will discuss, but please keep this in your mind, okay? You're going to be watching 265 very carefully. If Tesla gets a big rejection off 265, there's a possibility that this could play out, but we need some really bad piece of news, some kind of catalyst to cause Tesla to drop. If not, if Tesla manages to break this 265 level in a very strong manner and we hold above it, uh, either today or going into tomorrow, then Tesla will likely continue to push this imbalance and get to 275. So 265 is going to be key. Watch that very carefully. Very, very important zone. Now, when it comes to the levels to watch for, on the 1-hour time frame, you can see Tesla has a potential bullish triangle that is developing, continuing to hold up and is continuing to get lots of buying pressure as algos are starting to kick in. Tesla got a very, very nice looking setup for the day. Nice push up in the morning. It actually gapped down pretty hard before it started pushing up. So despite how much it pumped, Tesla is still up about 1.5%. And what else is interesting is Tesla hit that major important area I was talking about. I was talking about this 247 area where we could form like a double bottom, or we could see it try to hold 250. If it came down, it came very close to 247, actually bounced off 248.25, very, very close. And after getting that bounce, it's continuing to hold up. And now, as it's pushing, we have another resistance level to be watching for. Tesla's continuing to pump. The next important level, the next like really, really major level is going to be around 265. We got to watch this carefully. Like I said before, it's a make or break level for Tesla. Could Tesla test this? I think it's going to test it in the future. But the question is, could we break 265? Could we actually manage to continue pumping very hard and get above it? If we manage to break it and we keep going, 268, 270, then potentially 275 will be our target where that imbalance was. Remember, the net flow is going to be triggered by the algorithms, which are going to try to pump the markets even more if Tesla breaks this level. If Tesla does not break 265, I mean, even if it stops here like today, we have tomorrow, we're going to be watching that very carefully. If it rejects off this, you're going to be watching support at 262.5, 260 especially. That's a very important support. And also on the 1-hour 50 EMAs at 261.5. So we have a lot of support in the 260 to 263 area. Between that range, there's just lots of support zones. If it breaks below 260, you're going to be watching 257.75, 255, 254.25, 252.5, followed by 250, then like the 247 range. So far, it's holding up very nicely. Very awesome to see Tesla holding up. Jerome Powell spoke today in front of the Banking Committee of the Senate, and he didn't say anything too crazy. He did say that the Fed is open to 2 more rate hikes, though, and he did say lots of hawkish things, which is why the market slowed down a bit when he was speaking. But once he was done, like I told you guys earlier, the market might start to improve after Powell leaves. The market is improving a bit, but it's not really breaking out just yet as we still have solid resistance that's slowing down the markets. For SPY, it got this nice push up to this 436 area, and I told you to watch the 436 range. Lots of resistance between 436 and 437. We got rejected. This is when Powell was speaking. You could see how it was very volatile, very sideways for a couple of hours. And then it started pumping again. And as of right now, it's still holding up. If it wants to push up, it has to break and hold above 436. Then we're going to be watching 436.16, 436.25, 436.64, and then 437 as resistance. If it breaks all of those, 438 could come to potentially 440. If SPY breaks down, if this thing comes down, just for reference, you're going to be watching 435 as support. If it loses that, there's some support at like 434.5, not very strong. The next major support is going to be closer to 434 and then 433.43, which is where the 200 EMA happens to be on the 1 hour time frame. As of right now, it's holding up nicely. And there's a lot of potential for the market to try to push going into tomorrow, but I will discuss more about that later on. Last but not least, for the triple Q, this thing is still holding up in a very bullish looking structure. We're still looking very bullish on the 30-minute time frame and also on the hourly, but it's fighting this resistance very close to 365. Now, if it breaks 365, we're going to be watching 366. This entire 365 to 366 zone has resistance. If it gets above 366, it has the potential to push to 368 and potentially 370. If it breaks to the downside, make sure you watch supports. First off, we have some support at 364 flats. There's 363.5 to 363. That entire zone is going to be very, very important. If it breaks below 363, watch 362, 361.37, 360.49, which is where the 200 EMA happens to be, then 359. So we have lots of support on the triple Q holding the NASDAQ up. NASDAQ is also green right now, so is SEX. So far the market is holding up quite nicely, but we're just going to wait and see how it goes. Tesla is once again now above support, still trying to get all the way close to about that 265 zone. It's getting very close to it. Right now, as long as Tesla holds these levels, it's going to be in a decent place. The setup looks bullish, but once again, we will see what happens with the news and how the structure plays out. So just as one final reminder, before the day ends, watch that 265 on Tesla. If it manages to break and hold this, either today or going into tomorrow, it has the potential to push up more. It has to break 265. If it keeps breaking it, we could see it get closer to this imbalance. It's probably going to do that, get closer back to the 270s. If Tesla rejects off 265, it's a very important zone. Things could go south for it. So please be very, very careful. Be very, very mindful of this, manage risks, and get ready for tomorrow. The market does have potential to pump for tomorrow, but we're going to be as patient as possible nonetheless. All right, guys. So thank you all so much for listening. Please have an absolutely incredible rest of the day. I will talk more about Powell and what I predict to happen to Tesla going into tomorrow. And until then, I will see you guys in the next video after the market closes. Tesla to the moon alongside the whole market as the long term is still incredibly bright. And peace out.